And at the top, it's now 5 points, the difference between the two teams. City with that game in hand. But if they drop points against Crystal Palace on Wednesday, Arsenal would have the chance to wrap it up a week on Monday at home to Burnley on the Monday Night Football.
Well, Mikel, your 500th game representing Arsenal as a player and a manager. Can you remember one more nerve-shredding than that?
I'm going to certainly remember this day and this number. It was a roller coaster of emotions. We knew it was going to be a really tough day, fighting for their lives. We are trying to win the Premier League, so much at stake. We started the game so well. I think we had 3 big chances. We didn't put the game away, and then with the injury of Ben, we have to make a change. Then we have to adapt to that change again and make some difficult decisions. We throw everything that we had to try to win it. I think we got rewarded for that courage. Martin had an unbelievable action that helps you to win the game with Leo. And then there are 2 actions. One, obviously, the action of David, 70th minute, I think it is 1-1, 1 against 1, and he makes an incredible save. And then is the controversy around the last disallowed goal. That is obviously a big decision. And when I had to be critical, I have been. And today I have to congratulate them, because I think you need a lot of courage and bravery to stand out, to at least give the opportunity to a referee to have a little look at the action, because there is so much chaos and bodies in and around the box. But when you see the picture, clearly I think there is no question that it's a clear foul.
So, I mean, you seemed pretty clear that it was a foul. Nonetheless, do you sort of commend their decision making under that level, because that decision could decide things at 2 ends of the table?
Exactly. I mean, it's that's what I said, that they were very brave, at least to give the opportunity, and I think the action deserved that, and then it could have gone either way. I think, in my opinion, is very clear. If I was in the other side, I would do the same. I think I was very clear in Madrid with certain action that we got punished as well, because there are the rules, and we ask for consistency within those rules. So, very pleased, because that was a big game to win.
In that second where the score clock does read 1-1, what is that like for you? Does your season, your career flash before your eyes?
I don't know, because there's still another 2 games to play, but yeah, we really came here to win again today. And when you throw everything and everything that you've done in the season to create those moments and this scenario, I think somehow you have to get rewarded, and we certainly got.
Yeah, it was said in commentary, like to win a title, you need one of these. You know, where it looks like it might go a bit wrong with the injury, where it looks like the goal isn't coming. Your keeper makes a massive save. The controversy at the end, it just, obviously you're not going to stand in now and say, yeah, we're going to do it. Mm. But to win a title, do you need a day like this?
I mean, come in all kind of contexts, and we have shown that throughout the season, and with the amount of games that we played and won, I think we've shown that. But the only thing that matters is now, the present, and making it happen on the day. Today, we've done it. There is 2 more to go. Now the only focus is Burnley.
Can I just ask about the knock-on effect of the Ben White injury? Because obviously, I think you're trying to obviously be as brave as you can be. Declan goes to right back, but you lose a bit of control of the game. They make another decision. Martin Zubimendi, who's come on, then comes off. But so you'll have it, I don't know, it's gut instinct, is it? You're just having to sort of read the game as it changes from what you wanted?
We were so dominant through what we wanted to do, and bringing Mosquera was going to give us something different. So I went for Declan, and on that moment, I don't know if it's because of the position, there are 2 actions that we suffer a little bit. And on that side, we have the opportunity at half-time, because Ricky has to come off as well, which is painful. To make another change, we do it. And then at some point I had the feeling we have to change the game. We need 2 players in those pockets that are proper attacking midfielders. We went for it and we got rewarded.
Oh, just quickly, Calafiori was an injury, was it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Any sort of length of time?
We have to wait and see with both of them what it is, but unfortunately, yes.
Okay, lastly then, what would you say about the resilience, courage, maybe even bottle your team has shown in the last week, 2 weeks?
Unbelievable, because that was a big week. I mean, we played for everything this week, and the way the boys have responded to the challenge and especially to the opportunity has been immense. But as well, our supporters, I must say again, how loud they were today. how a beautiful connection they have created with our players. And really, thank you, because they make the difference.
Well done.
Thank you.
All that could be the one that gets Arsenal ultimately over the line. You've been in title-winning dressing rooms so many times, Roy. Will they feel that really in those last 15 minutes, they've got over the line?
Yeah, I think so. There'll be a lot of relief, of course, because there was huge pressure on the game, and everyone talking about this is the toughest game we're going to have, and you don't certainly think they can take care of Burnley. You don't want to be too disrespectful to Palace. But yeah, I think there'll be relief in the dressing room, and obviously then the way it finished the game, you're thinking that moment they're probably thinking we've lost the title. So they'll be on that emotional roller coaster. But the fact is they got the job done, and in the key moments regarding the keeper making a good save, or you could say it was a bad miss, then obviously producing that little bit of quality for the winning goal. And then obviously the incident at the end where you think you need a little bit of luck and decision to go your way. So they've had that. But again, they kept a clean sheet. Again, the game itself, the technical stuff wasn't great. But if you're going to win a league title, there's going to be parts of the season and parts of games where it's just about surviving and getting through. And they've shown that this season, and lots of occasions they can do it. And the goal they've scored was a bit of quality, and it looks simple, but it was effective. And even the last bit, the way they passed from Odegaard, that is quality play. So they deserve all the credit, because there was a lot of pressure on them again. Yeah, they've dealt with it this year for both teams, of course, yeah. But they've dealt with it. Whereas you're thinking the last year or two, I don't think the squad were maybe capable of it. But when you look at the bench today, the options to bring these players off the bench is obviously the difference.
Is that the big difference, really, when you think about people like Martin Odegaard being able to come on late in the game and help change the path of it?
Without a doubt, the reason why everybody was saying that this is Arsenal's best chance of winning this season is because of the squad depth. Our captain's come off the bench, and we were talking about it, Jane, that we needed somebody in this particular kind of game because there's pressure on both teams. West Ham for their reasons, and obviously Arsenal for their reasons to try and win this game. But there was no one who was getting their foot on the ball, especially once Declan got moved over to that right-hand side. It got very, very scrappy. There wasn't a lot of quality in the game. And if we're going to be totally honest, the real main quality and the composure was Odegaard coming on and in the box, showed that composure, even the pass to Trossard, so he hasn't got to think about anything, just coming at it first time is a kind of quality you needed in that moment, and he brought that. So the squad, the last 3 seasons, I don't think the squad has been strong enough to continue to get to this point there, but this one is, and this is why it would have been such a travesty to not get something out of this season. It will be a travesty not to get something out of this season.
Might they also reflect, Jamie, that perhaps they got away with one?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The relief from the fan base, the manager, the players. Because for that moment in time, when the ball goes in your net, you're thinking Declan Rice is trying to you had to unravel everything that was happening. But obviously, Pablo has his arm on the goal, and you're just praying that they can see that.
It was like in those moments, life stopped for Arsenal, didn't it? Life's just stopped.
I have never seen you. If we actually had a stop of it, I don't think I've ever seen more holding in my life. To unravel that moment, it was like watching a Super Bowl. It was like everyone's grabbing on for dear life.
That or a Royal Rumble. I'm not sure.
It was absolutely. It was chaos, and probably. Since you've introduced VAR, now I'm not saying because there'll be a lot of West Ham fans will say, well, look at that foul, look, he's holding him.
Oh, we'll do that. We'll do that in a moment.
But there will be a lot of people that will be saying that's one of the most probably important moments of VAR. I mean, what did you think when you heard those words, Wrighty?
What, when they're going to...
The relief.
Listen, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a massive fan of VAR, but in this instant and what you saw, it did the job.
Well, those words from Chris Kavanagh, after review, are they the sweetest words that you ever heard?
Sweetest words since Martin Luther King's I've Had a Dream, if I'm going to be totally honest, because I'm hoping, when that goes in, the first thing you're thinking is, please let something have happened in there. Because when Callum Wilson hits that and Declan saves that, you're feeling, I don't know what any other Arsenal fan was thinking, but I was thinking, please let something have gone wrong there. And then, obviously, you look back at it and his arms across him, for me, it was an easy one to give in such a tense moment. But, everything flashed. Everything flashed in front of me. Not great stuff. No. Things flashed. And you're thinking, what, we might have blown it there.
Imagine, like you're saying it flashed for you. What must it have felt like for Mikel Arteta?
Well, again, especially with the first half and how dominant we were, and then Ben White going off. It seemed, and Declan, our best player, I have to say, our best player, most productive player in the first half, it completely negated. And then West Ham started to get into it a little bit, and that's the problem. I think what West Ham had, they didn't go for them. They didn't go for Arsenal enough to perceive how much pressure you can put them under to see if you can create something. And I think we're fortunate in that respect.
I think if Arsenal hadn't won today and they didn't win the league, I think a lot of people would have looked at that moment when he put Declan Rice at right back for 25 minutes and said that's one of the biggest, worst decisions you could ever see a manager make in such an important time. He has to sub Zubimendi. You end up playing Miles Lewis-Skelly at left back. All the changes you had to make for really what was a really simple one. Mosquera for Ben White, right back. Keep Declan Rice in the middle of the pitch. But you need a bit of luck. Yeah. He's got away with it. No one's really going to talk about it now, but it's done. And you sometimes make those decisions. And it was almost as if, like, there was a moment, and we looked over, Roy said it, there was all the staff around him, and it was like, well, OK, what do we do? But to get to that point, it made no sense whatsoever. No. But what he did, in fairness to him, is he had the presence of mind to rectify it and go, right, half-time, we've got to change this. Yeah. You know, then he brings on Mosquera, eradicates that mistake, and then he ends up having to sub Zubimendi. That's not a nice place to be, doing that to a player. So you haven't lost him, but he's now got, you have to put his arm around him tomorrow. But it was unbelievable, and then they ended up getting the win. And also full credit for bringing Odegaard on, because, like the boy said, he had the big moment.
But the win covers all of that. The win, for all them decision-making, managers getting decisions right or wrong and upsetting some players. But when you get the win, it's a lot easier to get lads back on side, lads who might be upset. So I think they kind of got away with one.
But would you have feared for Arsenal if that goal had been given, the West Ham goal?
Yeah,
in terms of the title?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
because of the manner of it?
The course at last minute, and you're talking about brilliant they have been defensively and keeping clean sheets. And
let's get some more reaction, because I'm very pleased to say we can speak live now to the Arsenal skipper Martin Ødegaard, who's emerged from the dressing room to speak live to us. Martin, give us an idea of the mood inside that dressing room right now.
No, I think you can imagine. It was a big moment and a big win. Brilliant feeling, in there after the game. And we had to dig deep. We had to really fight for it. And we got over the line in the end. So, really, really happy.
So is there a little bit of relief in there with the happiness as well, Martin? Because, crikey, you were living on your nerve in those final few minutes.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we know what we're playing for. We know how important today was. And as I said, we had to dig deep. We had to wait for the goal for a while. And obviously with the situation in the end of the game, it's a bit of relief there. But the main feeling is just happiness. And proud of the team, proud of the effort. And it was brilliant.
You were watching a lot of it, of course, from the bench. What did you feel like your main duty was when you did get on the pitch?
No, I thought we started the game really strong. Beginning of the first half, I thought we looked really good and dangerous, created a few big moments. And then after that, I felt like they maybe took a little bit over the momentum of the game, got the game into, their way a little bit more. So it was about getting that calmness on the ball and tried to make something happen. They defend with 5 in the back, and it was really tight. So it was about finding that moment, and we did in the end. So really happy.
Ian Wright, I just wanted to say congratulations, Skip, on coming on and doing the business. How's it been these last few games and preparing for these last few games? Because it's been pretty intense, especially this one being so tough and have to get it over the line. How's it been?
No, it's been amazing. Obviously, we know what we're fighting for, and we fight for probably the 2 biggest trophies, in club football. And that's a privilege and something we really enjoy. And it's everything to play for, and these are the best moments, so we just enjoy it, and now it's time to get ready for the next one and go again, so that's all we can do, so definitely enjoying it.
Martin, Jamie Redknapp, we're going to talk about the goal. Obviously, fantastic piece of play from you. You stayed calm in such an important moment. Just talk us through it.
Yeah, as I said, I thought we were struggling a little bit to generate something, they were quite tight in the back there and defended well, so just tried to get on the ball, take it forward. Was a nice little 1-2 with Deck, I think, and then found Leo in the box, and he's always good there in those moments, and always there for the big moments, and again he delivers, so really happy for him as well.
How important was it you took those 2-3 touches as you arrived into the box, just to give Leandro Trossard that time to just reverse, and then you can play it to him nicely?
Yeah, no, I think that was crucial. I saw him and I heard him shouting for it, but I needed to get a better angle, and I managed to do that, and and he put it in the back of the net. So brilliant.
And a great moment. Just want to ask you towards the end, how much did you age in that last few minutes waiting for the VAR?
I think it's worse, honestly, for the people watching from home and in the stands. When you're on the pitch, you're so focused, and yeah, obviously it was a big call and took a lot of time. So it's always a difficult situation to be in. But in the end, I think we got the right decision and we got the win. So really happy.
I'm interested to hear you say that, Martin, because we can see the replay, so we can get an idea whether we think the goal is going to be given or not. But on the pitch, you're almost blind to it. So it must be terrible waiting for that moment.
Yeah, but I think when you saw the reaction from our players, we were quite sure that something was wrong. And yeah, all you can do is just wait. It's not ideal that you have to wait for so long, but yeah, I understand it's a big call to make as well. So yeah, that's football nowadays, and you just have to deal with it. And yeah, just happy we got the win in the end, and that's all that matters.
So you have the advantage in this race with Manchester City. I'm sitting next to the Premier League trophy here in the studio, Martin. I know you can't see it, but do you feel it's almost close enough to reach now?
We know it's only two games left, so definitely close. But I think, as we've said the whole season and as we've done the whole season, is key now even more, I think, to stay in the moment and just prepare for the next game, get ready for that win and move on, you know. So yeah, I think it's key to stay calm and just prepare for the next one now. That's all we can do.
Well done. Congratulations, Martin.
Thank you.
Another one chalked off. Thank you for talking to us.
Cheers, guys.
But if you're looking from West Ham point of view, we look at the earlier chance. That's all the manager would have wanted this morning. For all the preparation and sitting in, playing with a back five, you think if we get one great chance, because you do get chances in football, and this is...
3 big moments in the game. This is the first one, 78 minutes. Fernandes going through,
this
Roy.
is like, why did he go through? He has to score.
You know what?
The keeper's getting all the credit, but he's got to score. My
you know
goodness.
what? This is what I said. This is, of course, David Raya is in the way to. He should not have any chance of saving it. I think that when you look at it from here, he could flick it into his right foot now. He's taken another touch there. Look, the goalkeeper's rooted. He literally can't move. If you play that to his right-hand side, he's rooted, but he's taken another touch and another one. He's getting closer, and he's rooted. He can't move. You've got to find a space with that. Look, there's a space here. Look, left. There it is. Look, another touch.
Left,
Where's he going?
Don't you just sometimes have to say... Don't you just have to say sometimes it's a great save?
Unbelievable save. In that moment, he stayed up. He's managed to just
That's an amazing shot, isn't it?
He's flicked his right foot out. I don't know if we'll see it again. Look, I know what you're saying.
We've got a striker here. If he saves
but he's a midfielder.
James, he's a midfielder, but what I'm saying with that...
He's got quality.
James, the thing is that the opportunity with the goalkeeper he's finished there, the goalie.
You won't get a better chance.
You won't.
But
there's no way you could go there.
I'm not saying it's not a great... He should score.
Yeah.
But you also then have to credit the goalkeeper that he stands up. He makes him make the decision that he stays on his feet. He stays on his feet. And then he just flicks that right foot out. I think that's an unbelievable save. He stays calm.
James, no one's saying it's not an unbelievable save, but he's given him an opportunity to save it. He should not have done that. And the quality of David Raya is... Look, he's rooted. He's rooted. One touch... That touch there,
right. Absolutely, you think he's got to go
Arsenal
right.
don't give much away, so when you get a chance like that,
you've got to take it.
The issue would be obviously a striker midfield. You've got to take it.
But this is pressure. This is that goal might keep West Ham in the Premier League. That save might win Arsenal the title. This is what it does to you. It was an unbelievable moment, but great save. And when you think back what to him, and this is where the manager deserves credit, because when he first come, I was a bit like I wasn't sure about that decision. You had a good goalkeeper in Aaron
Ramsdale.
And I think, well,
but he wanted a better one.
Why are you going to make that change? But he's shown this year was definitely the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. Maybe
golden
the best in the world.
Save from the man with the golden glove. He's won that award again for the most clean sheets in the season. And is that a title-winning save potentially?
I said it at the time. It's still 0-0 and I said that's the save that wins you games. It wins you titles because I don't think you can find any team that's won the league whose goalkeeper hasn't done something that magnificent. And as much as I'm saying he should have scored, he's been there to win it without a great goalkeeper, and it justifies Mikel's decision to bring him in.
Well, the great thing when you're playing and you're trying to win league titles, and you don't get at your particular best, and your keeper gets you out of jail. We had it with Schmeichel. All the times, Peter, after the games, you're looking at Peter going, "You're the man," and that was that moment there. Huge. We saw it with City a couple of years ago. And that's
the Ortega one against Son, exactly the same. Yeah,
you could say again was that. Was that a bad miss? Was it a great save?
Yeah.
But we know it was a huge moment, and everyone knows it's a huge moment. And West Ham will. This kind of lifts, obviously, would have lifted Arsenal and definitely set West Ham back when they know they're not going to get a better chance than that.
Maybe they thought that was their moment come and gone. 4 minutes, 30 seconds later, Arsenal are actually in front. This is the quality that you're talking about with Martin Odegaard now on the field.
Well, you look at him and where he's picked the ball up and how many touches he's had. Look how many touches he's had. That brings people to you. That knocks people up. Look, they don't know where to go with him. He's moving. They can't stop him. 3, 4, 5, 6 touches. Then the nice layoff. That wasn't happening. We didn't have anybody to penetrate their line like that. But look at it, like Roy says, the 1-2, the best move in football, and then the calmness to play it to him at the pace that he needs to hit it first.
You look at it from the very start of the move. Trossard basically hardly moves.
Yes.
So sometimes in football, we talk about making good runs, 1-2s running off the back of people. What scores in some of these lads, you sometimes stand still.
Yeah.
Stand still and trust your teammates to open up a little bit of space. Because from the very start of that move, he literally takes 1 or 2 yards.
Yeah.
And again, the little softness of the pass. And I think even then it gets a slight deflection.
Yes.
So you need them few little breaks along the way.
Can we see that again?
We will, yeah. I mean, the reaction tells you everything because
beautiful.
they know it might only have taken 1 goal here, as it proved to be. But Jamie, what have you seen in there?
I just feel with Martin Odegaard, he doesn't get all the love I think he deserves from Arsenal fans at times. But I love what he does here because he stays calm. Little 1-2. And the most important thing is he gets his right arm out there and he just pushes away Diouf. Look, you'll see it here. Look, it's a beautiful 1-2 with Declan Rice. So hard to defend. Now, that right arm comes out there, pushes him away. He waits, calm. And he just says, there you go. Because every defender is going back towards their goal. You can see Disasi's going back. Mavropanos, he's got to wait for them. Now, the space is now opened up for him to lay it back to him perfectly. It's a beautiful piece of play. And that's what you get with Martin Odegaard. People look at what he can't do. Look, the calmness, head up. There you go, mate. Finish that one.
And it still needs to finish, though. This is a guy in Trossard who's not scored in 2026.
Yeah, but he's
25 appearances with that one.
Yeah, but this is again, this is the quality of someone like Trossard.
He knows.
You know what I mean? He comes, he does the job. But Roy made a great point. If you watch that, Trossard, sometimes you don't have to move. You don't have to move. You know, just know the football. You know that Odegaard will be able to keep that and get it to you. And he stayed there. And sometimes you can just stay still. And then I could say Odegaard's got the quality to play at a pace where he doesn't need a touch. He can just finish it first time. And it's still got a deflection, but it went in.
But even the little details there with Bowen, then you're on about attacking players getting back, defending, and he's just that. Yeah, I think if he can just smell the danger, I know he's an attacking player and he's on the wrong side. He's got to get back. You're on about making sacrifices and put bodies on the line. And just 1 or 2 players, West Ham players, kind of back, but not concentration levels, not just going that extra yard to kind of proper defend your goal.
Well, VAR had their say. We've got 3 forensics of our own here to try and pick the bones out of the Royal Rumble. Roy, would you like to have the first attempt at this? West Ham have got everything up at this point. They've got the goalkeeper, they've got the kitchen sink.
Yeah, of course.
It's all going
as
on.
they're going to do, and you're thinking, but again, the one thing you're saying when you're going up, because obviously VAR, they're going to check everything.
Yeah.
Do not put your hands on the goalkeeper. And certainly don't leave it on for 3 or 4 seconds. So when we saw the clips, obviously it was madness here. And there's loads of other fouls, there's all sorts going on, but because the goalkeeper had such a big part to play, I think it is a foul. Yeah. He's got his, but he must know he must know they're going to check VAR. I don't know if he's proper pulling his jersey.
I mean, the first question is Pablo being fouled by Trossard?
There's all sorts going on, of course.
Honestly, it's like, you see Declan was holding someone. It's like he was spooning someone. He's running with someone spooning. Look at Declan comes in
I'm
now.
told Ian that VAR checked the Trossard one.
To Debo, yeah.
Debo.
And they also checked
Rice.
They also checked that one from Declan Rice on Mavropanos.
But you're on about the discipline of going up.
Souček, look.
Do not give that foul away. I'd be really
that's a poor foul,
disappointed.
yeah. But you know what, Roy, I think David Raya catches that simply. If he's not impeded, he catches that.
And Callum Wilson is so bright because you can see him there. Look, watch Callum Wilson. He just reverses all the chaos that happens, and he knows if that ball then falls to me. Looks awful by Saliba.
Yeah.
Puts it back into an area, and here he is.
Oh, brilliant
Just fighting.
Do you all think, though, that they've got to the right decision?
Without a doubt.
Because this is one of the biggest decisions we've ever seen.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been given. Look, you can see. And then the arm comes across. Look, there's the arm. He can't catch it cleanly.
Roy?
There's a foul.
Yeah.
It's a foul.
It's a foul. There was about 10 in there, but that was the one that you're going to look at. I mean,
hard for me to say that.
Do you think it's because it's the goalkeeper?
You said Dennis Bergkamp.
Do you think, Roy, it's because it's the goalkeeper?
I think so,
And that's
yeah.
the one that's the
Big
protected
impact,
area?
'cause again, there was so much going on. There was chaos everywhere. But the impact I had on him, trying to obviously get his hands to it, his jersey getting pulled, his arms across his throat, yeah. And he plays it well. Look at him. He obviously, listen,
Yes.
he's an Arsenal player. He's going to make the most of it. Because as they all know, the goal's going to be checked. So if you do feel you're fouled, players are going to go down.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. So it's also a smart play from Arsenal, but I think really silly from West Ham. Whatever you do, don't go up and make it such an obvious foul, because they're going to check.
Yeah. And it's thinking because West Ham are pretty good. I know they can concede at free kicks and that, but they are very good at them. They don't need to be doing that.
Yeah.
They don't need to be doing that. They've got enough. Look at Maverick.
It's wild, though, isn't it? Look at that. Look how many fouls are going on there, Ian.
Talk about pressure. You know, there's 60,000 West Ham fans in here that were willing them to stick with that on-field decision.
Well, yeah, but you can't just stick with an on-field decision if it's not right.
They did that. They had a lot of looks at it, didn't they? In terms of that clear and obvious.
I don't know why. Yeah, but why? Why did they have so many looks at it? You can see his arm is impeding David Raya.
The referee, the referee, it's not like he's just got to give decision. He's actually got to come out of his... It's like the wedding speech, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, he's like the best man. I mean, how nervous he must have been.
Must have been very nervous.
We need a shot of him, because I think Ian needs a poster for his wall.
Alongside Bob Marley and Martin.
But that is just the most dramatic end to a game of this stature as well, isn't
Imagine
it?
the last few minutes there for Arteta and his staff and all the fans when they're looking at that moment decision. Yeah, we feel it is a foul, but you're still hoping maybe. And imagine a Man City camp and Pep and his staff and players and their supporters watching it. Again, the emotions for fans today, West Ham at the it was a crazy finish.
Tottenham would be happy, I bet.
To begin the show as well. Well, first of all, congratulations. That was chaos, that was mad. But how does it feel at the end of it?
Yeah, no, it feels amazing. We had to dig deep. We had to fight for it. And this is the Premier League. It's never easy. And we got there in the end. So, yeah, amazing feeling.
Right, before the gentlemen go in, let's get the elephant out of the room. Because what were you feeling when West Ham was celebrating at 1-1 with a 4-minute delay?
Yeah, to be fair, there was a lot going on in the box. I think there was a lot of holding there, and we all had a feeling that something was wrong, you know. So, yeah, you can see they pulled David, you know, so he can't get up there. So, yeah, that was the feeling, and luckily for us, we got there in the end.
Was that an agonising wait? Because it's a huge call in terms of the season and the title, isn't it?
Yeah, of course you're a bit nervous in that moment, but of course, big relief after the game when we got over the line, you know. So really happy.
Do you wonder why sometimes it takes them so long when they look at it for so long? Because I think that's what creates a little bit for the players and for the fans. That's why they get frustrated. Shouldn't take 4 or 5 minutes for a decision like that.
No, I mean, ideally you want to get a quicker decision, but I think we have to understand as well it's a big decision for both teams, you know. So and it's a difficult decision to make. So yeah, ideally it has to be quicker, but that's the reality.
Oh, and give us an insight into Mikel after those scenes in the dressing room. I'm sure would have been exciting, but not just tonight, but the Champions League as well. I mean, the environment that Mikel sat, and new players as well, has been exceptional. I mean, today you can just see the togetherness when we're sat behind the bench. Everyone's willing to win, and I feel that's the change in Arsenal Football Club. I mean, just show us some insight into that.
Yeah, I mean, we're proper like a family, you know, always fighting for each other, and we've been through a lot together. We've had a few difficult moments together, you know. We've lived a lot together, and you know, the other day going into the Champions League final was a massive moment for us at the Emirates with the fans, and in the dressing room after was a big moment, and yeah, today as well. And there was a good atmosphere, you know. So it's nice to share these moments together, and let's stay calm now and look for the next. But it was a big moment to celebrate.
And also David Raya making the saves.
What a save that
was. What a save. The first half, but the second one, I just have to ask you about him. How important has he been this season?
And the block from Gabi as well, you know. They've done that the whole season. It's incredible to see how, the effort they put in, how much they love to defend the goal, and all of them, to be fair, in the back there is unbelievable. So a lot of credit to them. David again with the most amount of clean sheets, you know, is massive for us. So a lot of credit to them.
And at 0-0, you said it was tough and tight, and Owen said to me, they need to get Ødegaard and Havertz on, and you did. So
I tell you what, Martin Zubimendi wasn't happy. They had to come on and come back up. But you know what, it probably was right call, because you needed a couple of playmakers. Obviously, Martin comes on, Kai comes on, and you can kind of overload the box. And
I think we had to try to change a little bit the momentum of the game. I thought we
talk us through it.
Yeah, just tried to make something happen, you know, to combine, and it's really tight there with 5 in the back, and I just had to go for it, and it was a nice 1-2 with Deck, and I managed to keep the calm there and find Leo, and he's always clutch in these moments, you know. So
Leo's always in there, isn't he? He has like a feel for it, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he
he's
knows when the goal's coming.
He has the smell for the goal, you know. He's always in the right areas, and he's always there in big moments. And I'm so happy for him. He really deserves this moment, and well done to him.
And just finally, before you go, when the full-time whistle goes and that emotion, that adrenaline comes out, what does it feel like when the goal goes in and you see this reaction? I mean, you're 2 wins away from a 22-year wait.
Yeah. Now we know what we're playing for. Obviously, it's massive, and you can see how much it means to all of us. I think if you see us every single day, how much we put into it, you know, that's why it means a lot. So, yeah, it was a big moment. Crucial for us to get the win today. But let's stay calm. Let's look for the next game, and let's get everyone together. Let's get the body right, you know, and prepare well for the last 2-3 games, and then we'll see.
Okay. Well, listen, really well played today. Thanks very much indeed for joining us.
Well done.
Great to
listen to this room. You said, "Oh my days." Have you ever experienced pressure, emotion, tension, joy like you've just felt?
I think this is one of the toughest ones in general. Obviously, when we scored that goal, was a lot of joy, but then we had to dig in at the end to not concede. And obviously with that penalty incident, with the goal, I mean, we're just happy that we won.
So in those, I don't actually know how long it was as we speak, but in those moments where you think they've equalised, what are the emotions? Do you feel like it's all gone, basically?
To be fair, David said straight away it has to be 100% no goal. So I had a lot of faith at that moment and belief, because he was pretty convincing. But you never know, obviously. And then you're thinking, it's not going our way. But luckily it was a foul, and we won the game.
Yeah. When you see the ref then make the square, I guess it's a whole new set of emotions.
Yeah, it's again relief at that point, because it's not long to go, and you know you have to still dig in for a couple of minutes. So we're just really happy with this one.
Listen, you got the goal, and again, I just said to you as you walked in, it was a real sort of guttural roar when the ball hit the net. Again, tell us how you felt.
Yeah, again, just pure joy, because we knew what we had to do, and that's win today. We created some chances in the first half. It was tough work, because obviously we know what they are fighting for as well, and it's a tough ground to come to. So I knew at that moment it got us up in front, and we had to just keep the clean sheet.
Yeah, and after a little wait for you personally for a goal, you picked the right time, Leo.
Yeah, I take it. Obviously, it's a great time to score and get the win today. So it's another 2 games for us, and hopefully something nice is waiting for us.
Yeah, like you said, a couple to go. But it was mentioned in commentary that some games just feel like they're the one. They're the one that we'll look back on and say, that was where they won it. Maybe you'd be mad to stand here and say that now, but do you know what I mean when I say that?
No, I understand, but obviously I think you have a couple of times in the season where you have those moments, and maybe today can be that moment. After the season we will look back and we can say that this is the one who brought us there. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have 2 games to play, and we need to win those as well.
And as we wrap this up, one last one on David, because there wasn't just a foul at 0-0 a couple of minutes before you scored. He made what will probably be looked, or may well be looked back on as save of the season because of what it meant.
No, exactly. I think he has helped us a lot already this season, and you can see his quality in goal, the amount of saves he can do, and also different types. So a lot of credit to him to keep us in the game.
A lot of credit to him. A lot of credit to you, the player of the match.
Thank you.
And the match winner.
Thank you very much.
Well done, mate.
Take care.
Thanks, man.
Over and over and over again. So now in the cold light of day, away from the Arsenal bench and the West Ham fans, are we all happy we've reached the right conclusion? Is that the right decision?
Do you know, the one thing I would say is I want to see players decide football matches, especially when it's a tight race, especially when it's relegation. VAR has been brought in for big moments. There's never been a bigger moment in Premier League history for VAR. I mean, quite incredible, really. If you're Arsenal, you want it. If you're West Ham, you feel aggrieved. I mean, I think there's so many angles of it there. You see probably the arm on David Wright.
So you're happy with the decision?
Well, initially it wasn't given, was it?
No, you're happy with the VAR decision?
Well, he's got a hold of his shirt. I mean, look, he can actually do his job, David Wright, in there. He's got his shirt pulled. He's holding onto his arm. I know he could probably jump and maybe claim it a bit stronger. I can understand why they didn't give it. I want to see players but we have VAR for that moment. And I think ultimately, even though they looked at it far too long, in my opinion, they should look at it way quicker. I think they made the right call.
Yeah, over 4 minutes this took, but ultimately, David Raya is being impeded, in your view?
Yeah, look, you can clearly see his shirt is pulled, and what's interesting as well, it's the reaction of the players, because even the Arsenal players in itself actually weren't appealing at this moment in time. However, when you do slow it down, there's a clear and obvious pull on the shirt. You can see it here. But it's just disappointing how long it takes, and that's the side of the VAR, which is really frustrating for everyone watching, because you're not quite sure what's going on. But you can clearly see there his shirt's been pulled. It's inhibited his.
So Todibo on the shirt and Pablo on the arm.
Pablo on the arm as well. So it's a really difficult one when it's sped up. However, everything's slowed down. This is why VAR comes in. But however, we don't want to be talking about VAR. We want to talk about moments, like Owen was saying. But look, I think they come to the right decision in the end, but it should not take that long.
I genuinely think if we went back on all Arsenal's goals this year, the way they are and how aggressive they are with blocks and pulling shit and pulling people in and around places, you will be able to find that they've done this to a keeper, to a player.
Kev, you're 100% right.
You know,
that's why it's almost ironic.
So frustrating.
Yeah,
this is why it's so frustrating.
So you think it's right on the day, but inconsistent in the season?
Just inconsistent over the season, and that's why I don't like VAR. Me and Theo were talking as soon as it happened. And I was like, if you're waiting this long again, 4 minutes, and you're looking at it 10, 12 times, you're looking for something. For me, if it's a clear and obvious area, then fair enough. But at this moment in time, I'm not seeing that as a clear and obvious error by the ref. I think it's just a melee of players coming together. You see Declan Rice just behind him, got hold of his player who he's marking. You know, he's got hold of him, actually hold of him. So, you know, where do we go with all this? I actually don't know now. I think it's so difficult to actually see it with VAR the way it is and the way it acts. And yeah, I think if it was the other way around, I'm telling you now, all the Arsenal fans would be saying it's not a penalty. It's not a goal.
Do you know one thing I would say? I noticed even coaching my son's team on the weekend. Yeah. Now we see loads of people crowding the goalkeeper.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of everybody just crowding the goalkeeper all the time. Do you know? And I think it's become a thing this season where we've seen everybody just crowding the goalkeeper and he can't really do his job. And I think really we want people to be able to do their job. I don't know if you can create a rule where, you know, there's a little bit more space or something, but we are getting to a point where there's 10 bodies in the space of 5 yards, and you're just going to keep getting these moments all the time.
They'll feel aggrieved with that, West Ham, but you know, it probably is the right decision when we look back at it. But what I'm saying, it's just been too inconsistent all the way through the season with the pole, the little tugs, the little blocks, everything else. So the sort of, you know, giving themselves something more to everybody to have a go at them for. Which, you know, it's frustrating for them. And as I said, if it was the other way around today and West Ham were 1-0 up and then they scored, they'd feel aggrieved, I think, Arsenal. So, yeah, unfortunate for West Ham today because they've come on the wrong end of it.
And, of course, it's such a big decision. Manchester City will feel equally as aggrieved as West Ham watching that.
Oh, if you're a player and you're at home, you're throwing stuff at the telly. Honestly, you're going absolutely mad. I mean, it actually felt like a Hollywood film, kind of the ups and downs and the ending. Obviously, I thought West Ham were brilliant today. You know, they really were. They probably deserve something from the game. Credit, I mean, Mikel, forget about even, obviously, Zubimendi came on, then he came off. You know, so many things, and Kai Havertz came on, Ødegaard came on, and that had a big impact on the game. But Arsenal needed to get the job done. Somehow they find a way to do it. But I do feel sorry for West Ham because I thought they put in a brilliant shift.